Hello everyone, I'm Ojo Emmanuel and you're welcome to the JILBOTIcs Classroom. Today we'll be talking about sensors. What are sensors? Sensors are devices that convert other physical quantities to electrical signals. So what sensors do is that they sense change in physical factors, physical quantities, and they convert these changes to electrical signals. Okay, so now they sense what happens in the outside world and transform those signals into electrical signals that are readable by your microcontroller. Okay, so now for instance, maybe there's a change in temperature. Your microcontroller cannot read the change in temperature. Okay, so now what sensors do is that it will change, for instance, that change in temperature, it will sense the change in temperature and vary an electrical parameter based on the change in temperature. You get that? Might be resistance, voltage, and so on. Okay, so the change in electrical signal to the change in the physical quantity might be voltage or resistance. So now sensors, they sense changes in physical quantities and convert these changes to varying electrical signals, like I said earlier. So in most cases these changes are voltage changes. Okay, so now your push button is a sensor and LDR is a sensor. These are the two sensors you have in your kit. So now your push button is a digital sensor. It senses 1 or 0. When you press it to sense 1 depending on your connection, and when you release it to send 0 to your Arduino. So when you press it sends 1 or I to the Arduino, and when you release it to send 0 or low to the Arduino. But in the case of LDR is an analog sensor, so it senses between a range. The value is between a range from 0 to 1023. Okay, so now between 0 and 1023. So now depending on the amount of light, remember LDR is light dependent resistor. Okay, so now depending on the amount of light that falls on the LDR, the resistance is going to change. Okay, so now once the resistance changes, using your it is going to send the signal in form of voltage to the Arduino. So as the amount of light falling on the LDR changes, the voltage on that the Arduino detects changes. Okay, so that's a sensor. It senses the amount of light falling on it and it changes it to electrical signal, that is voltage, that is read by your microcontroller, Arduino in this case. Okay, so now LDR, you can use LDR in it has different applications. You can use it in your street lights. Okay, you can use it in your street lights. You can use it as light sensor in your robots. Okay, so there are various applications for the LDR and also the push button. You see push buttons everywhere. You see them in your devices. Okay, so now this information is very important. So sensor technology is the art of robotics, so you have to pay close attention to it. Notice that the more the sensors in a robot, the smarter the robot is, because it senses more. Okay, the robot is going to sense more. Okay, so now without sensors, robotics will not be what it is today. So thanks to sensors, they make robots smart. So I have a few diagrams here for to explain some basic things on sensors. So you can see the touch sensor. It can sense touch, human touch. So once you touch it, it will send a signal to your Arduino. So you can do whatever you want to do with it. Then the light sensor, you can use an LDR for this. The light sensor, it senses light, the amount of light falling on it. Okay, then sound, it senses sound. Once it senses sound, it sends a signal to the Arduino. Then the ultrasonic sensor, it sends out sound and receives sound. But the ultrasonic sensor can be used as a proximity sensor. You can use it to calculate distance. Okay, so now let me describe like a robot where you can apply all this. Okay, so now for instance, you have a robot and a touch sensor is there. You can code the robot, or you can program the robot that once it senses touch, run, something like that, run. Okay, in the case of light, once there is no light on it, go down or sleep. Okay, sound, once there is sound, if there is sound, once the robot senses sound, okay, display something like stop shouting. Okay, an ultrasonic sensor, once it senses a particular distance, you can program it to say get off the way. Okay, or you are hindering me, something like that. Okay, so now you can see with these four sensors, the robot is smarter compared to if the robot has only the touch sensor. Okay, so now the more the sensors, the smarter the robot is. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. I am Ojo Emmanuel, and if you have any question on this, it is a very interesting tutorial. If there's any question on it, you can ask on the platform provided by JILBOTIcs. We'll be very, very glad to respond to your questions and do justice to them. Thank you very much, and bye.